Hey everyone, Brew Gaming here, and today for this video we're gonna do a top 13 legendaries, non-void legendaries of course. But before we get to that video, guys, tomorrow, if you didn't see my post already or the post on Discord, we're gonna have a 2x on sacred shards. So if you've got some sacred shards saved up, this is the time, the definite time to open them. There's gonna be an event, also a summoning event for that, so you can get some extra rewards through there. Tomorrow, instead of 6%, it's gonna be 12%. This is definitely the time to summon. I've got 12 shards, 13 tomorrow with the monthly quests, so hopefully I'll get at least one. It rounds up to one, so yeah, hoping to not get cold brewed and of course get one. So guys, before we get to the video, I'd like each and every one of you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I love you guys, and I like that you subscribe to my channel, watch my videos every single time. So if you haven't subscribed, it really helps out the channel. It helps the channel grow, and the more the channel grows, the more I can do these kind of videos for you guys. Let's get on with the video. This is a top 13. The reason for the top 13 is, guys, I'm gonna pick every single one of the factions here, and I'm gonna tell you which is the most wanted champion you want to see tomorrow, hoping when you get that legendary glow tomorrow, you're gonna hope out of each of every one of these factions that one of those comes out. We've got 13 factions here, non-void only out of sacred shards, so I'm not gonna comment on any of the void champions, of course. So first up, guys, we have the banner lords. So the banner lords have lots of champions, legendary champions that you can pick if you could, but the one that shines on top of them all is of course Septimus, guys. The others are not even on par with Septimus. So Septimus is a great legendary champion. He's the only legendary champion that does damage based on max attack, so his A2 damage increases according to enemy max HP. There's a few videos out there that actually Septimus one shots the spider, one hit, one kill, spider 20, but it does require some setup. He also helps through his attack to increase the duration of all debuffs by 1 turn. It's a 30% chance, but still that helps a lot when he attacks. The more times he attacks, the more turn the duration of poisons are on the clan boss. For example, quite a few unkillable teams have Septimus in there to help do a lot more damage and also extend the duration of poisons. So this is the only reason that makes Septimus the top tier legendary out of the banner lords. So next up, guys, we have the high elves. Of course, the high elves have many legendary champions, and 2 of them are void that are extremely good. But the most important one, the most important champion that you want to pick out of the high elves tomorrow is of course gonna be Lysandra. Lysandra is the queen of the dungeons. She's very great in arena. She might be useful in the nightmare campaign, but most importantly, she's gonna help you just smash through all of the dungeons, make those times to 1 minute, 1 minute and a half to all of those dungeons. And the reason is because of her extreme base stats. Of course, her speed is 110, but also because she places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%, and decreases the turn meter of all enemies. This is like a crazy good skill, especially in the arena. I find Lysandra against me. I might be faster than her. I speed boost my team, but then she goes second. When she goes second, she's gonna decrease the speed of my team, and then I basically lose because I can't really match. My arbiter speed with my second person in my arena. This is a very good skill. She also has an increased ally speed in all battles by 24%. She also has a fully depletes the target's turn meter skill, so a 3 turns cooldown with just 4 books. This is extremely good, guys, especially on the spider, especially on bosses that you can manipulate turn meter. If the boss does not take a turn, he means he cannot harm you. You can take their squishy champions like Cold Hearts and Royal Guards and keep your times low in those dungeons. So yeah, I'm really hoping for Lysandra tomorrow, guys. So Sacred Order is next, guys, and the single champion that everyone is hoping for tomorrow is of course, yeah, you named it, Martyr. So Martyr is gonna be the champion that everyone wants tomorrow to come out of the Sacred Order. If you could pick one single champion out of Sacred Order, it would be Martyr. I guarantee that every single one of you, except if you have her a couple of times. Yeah, Martyr is such a great champion, and of course because she's one of the 3 counterattack champions in the game. She's a top tier counterattack champion, and she also has tremendously good skills. She's got a great aura. Nothing is needed more than this. She's one of the 3 counterattack champions. She's such a great champion and a great addition to any team out there. Of course, a close second comes in Roshkar the Tower because of his block damage buff on all allies at the 4 turns cooldown with just 2 books. He's a great addition to a team that's looking to go unkillable, but if I had to pick, of course, it would be Martyr. So next up, guys, the Barbarians. And again, Right after the Sacred Order, we have another counterattack champion, top tier legendary. It's of course Valkyrie. I think Valkyrie is the best one out of the three in terms of counterattack champions, because not only she provides a counterattack buff to your allies, she also gives a shield to every single one of them. She also does damage based on her defense. You get her defense way high. She got 1.6k base defense, guys, so she's such an amazing champion. You want to get her in your team, and tomorrow, if you're lucky enough and could pick one of these, of course Barbarians, it would be Valkyrie. Of course, a close second here is Altan. Altan is also a great champion. If you do happen to pick him up tomorrow, he's also gonna be such an important addition to your team. He does a tremendous amount of damage. He increases defense of all allies for 2 turns. He also has a great aura, and his A1 also applies a decreased attack debuff very consistently at 75%, 80 if you go the masteries as well. So this is tremendously good. All Green Tribes, guys. All Green Tribes is more limited in terms of legendary champions that you can pick from, but of course, Big Gun is the choice right here. If you're having troubles in farming the campaign, Nightmare campaign farmer, there he is, Big Gun. He's such a great champion. All of his skills do AoE damage, especially his A1 attacks one enemy, attacks all enemies 1 time. If the first attack is critical, of course you're gonna have him 100% crit. And he's so great to even farm the Nightmare campaign with great gear. He can farm it at 16 seconds, so that's crazy, guys. This shows how great he is. Of course, the close second is Ignatius if you're having trouble with the spider, but other than that, I would pick from here just Big Gun. The Lizardman, of course, we have our favorite Razin in there, but he's not the top pick right here because he's a fusion, a guaranteed fusion. Everyone can fuse him eventually. So the first spot, of course, goes to Dracomorph. Dracomorph is one of the few champions that does apply both a weaken and a decreased defense through a non-hit. So this means that he cannot do a weak hit on enemies. This makes his skill tremendously good at a 3 turns cooldown with just 2 bucks. Not only this, but he also has 4 times poison on his A2, and also his A1 is a kind of nuking attack. Once you kill an enemy with this, the remaining damage is dealt on the enemy. There's a few videos out there of him just one-shotting the Ice Golem boss. So yeah, that's crazy. Almost one-shotting actually. Skinwalkers in next up. This was more difficult for me to choose which champion of these is the top one of them all. Of course, guys, I could have gone with Brackus, but Brackus was a fusion before. I am a fan of Brackus, but not as much as for Longbeard, and the reason is for his attacks one enemy with 4 allies. This is a great skill. You can use this to do some great setups in the arena. He's a ton of fun. Of course, you can also use him in the clan boss because this one attacks one enemy with 4 allies. So he's such a great champion. Of course, if I could pick just one of the Skinwalkers, I would be unhappy, but that it would be Longbeard. The Orcs, guys. The Orcs is, I think, the most difficult decision because we've got 3 non-voids here. 2 of them are very bad quality champions. One of them being Tila, and the other one being one of them I have, Growhack, the Shark Week champion. So Robar is going to be, of course, the top pick, not because he's the better out of the 3 champions that we have here, but he's actually good, guys. His skill set is very nice for the arena. If you do happen to pick him up, do not be disappointed, but because you can find lots of places, a lot of setups to use Robar in the arena. Do not be disappointed. He does great deal of damage. He also stuns the enemies. Damage increases if the target is under sleep, stun, or freeze debuffs. He's crazy if you accompany him with another one that stuns, for example, Trunda. You can do a great deal of setups with Robar, so don't be disappointed if you pick him up tomorrow. Now we're at the Demonspawn screen. So many champions here, of course, so many great champions. I've only got 2 of them. Lord Chazar, I have him actually twice, but if I could pick only 1 champion out of here, of course, you guys know it, it will be Duchess. Duchess is such a great champion. She almost got nerfed in the previous patch. Her skill set is so good, guys. She can be used in the arena. She can be used in the campaign locations, in the dungeons, yeah. And she can also be used in the clan boss for very tanky setups. Her skills that apply a perfect veil on her allies, and also decrease the damage taken by all allies from AoE attacks by 25%, 15% from bosses. This was crazy before, it's still crazy. Right here, you can use this to significantly reduce the damage dealt from the clan boss on your team. She's the reason she's top tier right here in the Demonspawn. Of course, close second is Tyrant and Prince Kymar. Prince Kymar helps out to make those speed teams for the dungeons. If you've got a speed team already, then Tyrant can also be useful in reducing the damage dealt to you from the clan boss, for example, from decreased damage inflicted by enemies under HP burn debuffs by 10%. So yeah, any of those three you should be happy tomorrow, but of course Duchess is the top one. Next up, guys, Undead Hordes. Here we've got lots of champions to choose from, only one void. If I could pick the void, of course I would pick it with, I would give all my secrets for just that just that void champion. Anyway, guys, we're talking non-voids here, and the top champion here, guys, is the one that we recently had a fusion for, and of course is Rotos. Rotos is such a great champion. He can be used literally everywhere. You can use him everywhere and he will be useful. Campaign, arena, farming, dungeons, anywhere. You can use him anywhere, even the clan boss. There's some crazy images with Rotos doing 12 to 15 million damage in the clan boss because of his skills, getting lots of turns and doing tremendous amount of damage. But if you did happen to get him through a fusion like me, then the very close second would be Bad El Khazar. Bad El Khazar is one of the basic champions that came out to the game. He's not a new addition to the game. There's even a boss in the game that is Bad El Khazar. He's got great poisons and a great dispel on his A2, great leader and a great passive. So do not be disappointed, of course, with Bad El Khazar. To be fair, all legendaries here in the Undead Hordes, except of course Bloodgorge. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Bloodgorge. All the legendaries are okay here, and there is some great choices. For example, Harvest Jack as well. Nethril is also a great champion. Of course, Mashalt with his recent changes, he's a tremendously great arena. You can also use him in the clan boss. He's the my third pick out of the Undead Hordes. But of course, picking just one, I would go for Rotos. Even now that I have Rotos, I would probably still go for another Rotos. I could do great setups with two Rotoses in the arena. Dark Elves, guys. The Dark Elves, there's lots of choices here depending on what you're missing, what you're lacking. Of course, the top tier here is, you named it, Vizier. Vizier is going to be the top champion here to pick from tomorrow from a sacred shard. You're gonna wish to get a Vizier tomorrow. I sure do wish that Vizier also comes out of sacred shard tomorrow for me. The reason being, Vizier is the most consistent debuff extender in the game. The reason being, his A1 has a 35% chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs by 1 turn. You book it up, you've got 50% chance. This attack attacks one enemy 3 times, so you've got 50% chance every single time for 3 times. When he attacks, you've got a counter attack buff going. This is gonna be crazy. And not only that, he's also got a great deal of debuffs through his A2, and his A3 does a debuff spread, which is also crazy. This will be crazy, I think, when we have the new clan boss eventually in the game, where the new clan boss is gonna be multiple targets, so you can spread all the debuffs from one target to all the others. A close second in the Dark Elves, of course, is Xavia. If you were missing Xavia and you were missing a kind of new carrier for the dungeons, a champion that's gonna make your runs much quicker, then it's Xavia. With godly gear, with a good setup, she's gonna make your teams tremendously easy to clear the dungeons in just 1 minute, for example. So Xavia is also a good champion to pick up tomorrow. We're getting close to the end, guys. Do not worry. We're at the 9th Revenant right now. Three here of the champions are voids, and the other 2 are okay champions. Of course, not Bistopus, but Tomb Lord. Tomb Lord is a good champion, guys. Do not think that he's a not good champion. I actually have him, but I'll eventually level him up and give him masteries so I can make a video. But he's great because he can decrease the turn meter of enemies. He's got a good decrease speed debuff on his A1, and his A2 can also apply poison. So you can use Tomb Lord if you get him. You can use him in the dungeons. He's a good beginner legendary champion to get. But of course, if I could pick a legendary champion out of here, it would be Hegemon. The voids are crazy, but tomorrow, guys, is about non-void champions. So sacreds, if you could pick one of the Night Revenant, it's gonna be Tomb Lord. And Dwarves, the final pick here. This one was very tricky, to be honest. I've got 2 of the 3 non-voids here, so I know how they work. And to be fair, the decision for me here is Trunda, not because I don't have her, but because of how I see Trunda in the current meta. For example, Trunda is such a great champion, especially against Rotos. Her AoE attack here attacks all enemies, has a 70% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn, places an HP burn debuff for 2 turns on enemies under stun debuffs, plays an extra hit on enemies not under stun debuffs. This is so crazy. I've also been watching a streamer lately. I forgot his name. I forgot his name. He actually had 2 Trundas and he was farming gold 4 all the way up to platinum, top 50, top 25 with just 2 Trundas. She's such a cool champion. I wish I had one of her, and she would also help me so much to kill that stage 21 in the faction wars. So yeah, Trunda is a great pick here. Of course, there's lots of setups with Mountain King, but I do have Mountain King and he's a bit underwhelming in my experience. I may have him built all wrong. He does do huge numbers, but he's nothing crazy, especially now with the Rotos meta. He just tries to hit Rotos. Rotos won't die because of his skills. Rotos counterattacks and basically destroys Mountain King with his A2 and A3. So yeah, and of course Molly, she was amazing when she was released. But out of these 3, I would go for Trunda. Molly is crazy good also, guys. She's gonna carry you through all dungeons to 20 if you do get her. But if you don't get her and you get Trunda, yeah, Trunda is the best choice out of the 3. So guys, thanks a lot for watching this far. If you have watched this far, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like down below and comment which champions do you think from my list are wrong, and which one do you think is the top out of each faction. Leave it down below. I like to open up a discussion with the viewers always, and if you want, you can also join my Discord server. I'm always there answering questions and giving out tips to anyone who asks them, and of course having fun with the other guys in the Discord server. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.